H-Town, what's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas. But we're broadcasting all over the world via Facebook Live and YouTube Live, and it is Monday morning. It's a whole lot of stuff going on. I see y'all there already. Let me shout out to, I'm not going to play around with this thing. Let me shout out to my starting five. They are the first 5 people that sign up to the Chop Shop feed via Facebook Live or YouTube, and they accumulated in the top. And guess what? I got D. Holcomb from the YouTube. I got Mindy Collins. Welcome back, Mindy. Mindy's back off her vacation. We got Daryl Anderson. We got Rod Wells, and we got Thaddeus Moody. And the 6th man of the day is Todd Byerly. Let me tell y'all something, man. Let me see who else we got on. Let me shout out Corey. What's up, Corey? What's up, Joe? What's up, Sonya? Businessman is in the building. Rick Brown, Dale Griggs, Melvin Dews. Melvin Dews, something wrong with you, man. Melvin Dews, quit all of that editing. What's up, Simeon Sims? Mark Edwards, what's going on, man? I just, unique weekend. Unique weekend. Shout out to the Houston Cougs. Shout out. Hey, Joe, what's going on? Shout out to the Houston Cougars. Made it to the Sweet 16 and to the what you call it? 8, what they call it? Sweet 16 and Elite 8. And but didn't make it to the Final Four. They broke down, they cried. I ain't gonna lie, I like players that cry. You know what I like about U of H? And I'm gonna talk about them right now. The kids play the way I play. I used to always tell my kids and my sons, and people around me, you got to hate to lose more than you want to win. See, a lot of people like to win. But when you hate to lose, you're going to do things that prevent you from losing. So it was a unique, shout out to the ride them young guys had. But I want to share something with y'all, man. It's a lot of stuff going on. But I want to share something with y'all. I don't know where to go. I'm going to go here. Okay? Yeah, really good run by the Cougs. Yes, but they played terrible. I know Chris needed that win. Yes, Chris Walker, he was happy for Villanova. Yes, Villanova is going. Man, we're going to talk about the Final Four and all that kind of stuff soon when Jimmy come on. When he's not on, I give me a chance to talk about other stuff that I just want to share some with y'all. And I'm sharing with this because y'all got to realize some people might need this. I think you need to share the show right now because somebody might need this. It's not on the feed. Share the show when you walk in the door. Everybody share the show right now. Everybody. everybody. I don't care who you are. If you on YouTube, I want you to like the show and share it to your last 5 friends that text you. If you're on YouTube, you can just go share. Then you can send it to the somebody by text, however you do it. Or you can send it on Twitter, however you do it. My niece published her first children's book. Shout out to her book, The First Day of School. I'm different. I can't wait. I'm gonna have my niece on. I'm gonna have my niece on. My niece, y'all, has, check this out. She has written a children's book. Shout out to her book, The First Day of School. I'm different. Hold on, y'all. If y'all don't clap for my baby, I'm gonna clap for her. Yes, yes. See, y'all know I always clap for y'all kids and y'all kin folks when something happens. How many of y'all got my niece that wrote a book? Thank you, Joe. I can't wait to get the book. I can't wait to have her on the show. Oh my God, you just made my day. Now my day is made. My day is made. It's just made. Hey, Brandy. But I want to share something with y'all. Y'all walk with me a minute. My mom, matriarch of our family, dad died when I was 12. My mom raised all these kids, 11 kids. Let me tell you, I sent her hard. That's all. All right, that's good. But my mama taught me 2 words, y'all. Remember, hardworking woman, smart woman, integrity and discernment. Okay? I know the big thing that happened last night. We're going to talk about it soon, but I want y'all to hear this. Somebody need to hear this. Integrity, as she explained to me, is doing what's right when no one is looking. She would say your talent, your gifts, your skills, these things that take you to places where a lack of integrity cannot keep you. And I used to always tell my son, don't let your talent take you where your integrity can't keep you. Don't you go up to New York. Don't you go to Wall Street. Don't you go up here with all these high fans and doing all that crazy ass stuff this crazy ass stuff them people be doing up there. I told him. But I got this stuff from my mama. Did y'all hear what I just said though? I'm gonna repeat that. She said, don't take your gifts and your skills and your talents and all these to these places where your integrity cannot keep you. Just because you're talented, just because you can just because you're amazingly brilliant, and you have been lauded and upheld by all your others and your friends, by your friends for so long, you might sometimes think it doesn't matter the choices that you make. Y'all listen now. But integrity calls upon us to do what is right, even when no one is looking. Joe, please post the link to the book if you can. Because my friends, boom, boom, boom. When you do not have integrity, your talent, your skill set, your gifts, you were given by the gods. They can sometimes open doors for you that a lack of integrity will not allow you to keep open. Y'all got to hear me on this. A lot of our kids are going into places. We got Junior going into NBA draft. We got a lot of our kids doing this. My son off in New York. I think, let me see, what's that? Brandy's daughter's all the way over in Korea. Your lack of integrity will sometimes expose you in places where your talents and your gifts and skills have given you the latitude in past opportunities. I don't know what this is related to in your life or nobody. I don't know. But if it hits someone today, I just want you to remember that. And the second word my mom gave me was, and I'm really grateful for this word. Hey, Tamika, it's discernment. It's discernment. Discernment is not the same thing as being smart. Okay? There are a lot of smart people that are lacking in discernment. Discernment, ladies and gentlemen, is when you're able to detect with senses, perhaps other than your vision. Yes, you can see with your eyes, but you have to have the ability to read the energy in the room. Like I was telling y'all last week, it's, protecting your energy is not a crime. If you somewhere and you don't like the energy, get up and leave. That's why I don't have everybody just hanging with me and being around me. I'm protecting my energy. If somebody is around me, Mustafa, that I don't like, and I don't go to everybody's parties. I don't go. If it's somebody there that's gonna zap my energy, D White, I'm getting the hell out of there. I don't know how much longer I got left on this earth. You think I'm gonna spend it around some damn people that I don't like and probably don't like me? It's not gonna happen. You have the ability to recognize that this might be technically correct, a sense, a thing, right? But it would be inappropriate. Just because it's correct don't mean it should be said. Just because you can't, just because you can do it, don't mean you should. But if you have a lack of discernment, you will see an opportunity to show up as a call for you to do so, as opposed to an opportunity for you to exercise your discernment. I'm gonna speak my mind. It might not be the right. I'm gonna smack this dude. It might not be the right time to smack him in front of 21 million people. And perhaps make a decision. If you got discernment, perhaps you'll make a decision not to go there. Perhaps make a decision to why you can take advantage of this opportunity to bring somebody else down. Mindy, you already know where I'm going, Mindy. Mindy, look at Mindy. She said, I see why you're going, Hannah. Yes. Mindy, discernment, integrity. I used to tell my thing was, I didn't say integrity. I said character. I changed it. I told my son, don't you let your talents take you somewhere your character can't keep you. Don't you go up there doing all that crazy stuff them folks doing up there. I told him. I promise I did. See, perhaps discernment would tell you, don't do that, brother. Don't do that, sister. That's what it's telling you. This is the wrong time. This is the wrong place. A lack of integrity and a lack of discernment will often allow you to enter spaces where you create a mess. Create some problems. Create some stuff that you're stepping into and you have to wipe your shoes off. It's important for us to remember those words. We all have access to integrity and discernment. The wiser version or the more disciplined version of yourself. We all got access. All of us make mistakes. Don't get it twisted. But a mistake is different from an improper decision. You'll get that. You'll get that one by the time you go home. What's up, Reds and Simpson? The more I employ the lessons, and the less trouble I find myself in. The less I have to defend myself in my actions. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, I have a less messy life because I done got some people. I don't just deal with everybody. I don't have too much mess in my life. Shout out to that guy last night, Will Packer. They allowed him to produce that show, and where the Oscars that I don't, y'all might have a great like for the Oscars. If you've been watching this show long a time ago, I said, man, I don't care about the Oscars. They had a thing, Oscars go white, long time ago. Everybody gonna joke about this thing, but I remember. Ain't today March 28th? March 28th. Let me share something. We're gonna get to talking about that foolishness in a minute. But on March 28th, y'all, this is my hometown now. Hey, check this out. March 28th, this is a day in history. In 1968, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. leads a protest march on behalf of Memphis sanitation workers. Led a group of 6,000 people marching in support of their cause that unfortunately turned violent. One died and 50 people were injured. And if you do your history, some other people incited that riot, like they do here. We have a protest, other people go breaking stuff. That was that kind of stuff that started, so the police can come in and come on, same old thing, same thing. But I wanted to share that with you because this incident with Will Smith last night, don't let it get us off focus, right? Okay, we're gonna talk about it. But this incident knocked the war. We got a dictator that's going to try to take over somebody else's land. And let's not forget about Clarence Thomas' wife, Jenny Thomas. Don't let this Will Smith stuff knock those two incidents out of the headlines. And then we got this damn fool that some of y'all and some of y'all friends voted for that's talking about he'll nuke Russia if he was in office. I wish his followers would wake up and some of the people who actually voted for that damn fool talking about nuke somebody. Don't need no dumbass. If you nuke, everybody goes. You don't play like that. But we got some of them people that's going to still vote for him. Some black people going to still vote for that damn fool. I'm thinking about this stuff, Will Smith stuff, and I'm trying to not tap dance around it. I want to hear y'all comments on it. This was the unique thing about having a show like this, that I get to hear. I want to hear you. No question, no, nothing is bad, nothing is wrong. I know y'all be thinking, let me tell you something. What I do, if you're big and man enough and woman enough to say it on this show, you want to know what happened to Clarence Thomas' wife? Do me a favor, Chris. Google, because it's so much. Google Jenny Thomas, Clarence Thomas' wife. Crystal she said what's happening with her. Crystal, they got texts of her corresponding back and forth with the White House chief of staff, talking about the insurrection. She is one of the chief orchestrators of the insurrection. You got to go read it. It's compelling. It's compelling. I don't want to spend a whole show on her. I just don't want us to. My job right now, Crystal, go look up her. Go look her up. And you ain't gonna even think about what Will Smith did. We talking about what Will Smith did. This woman is the wife of the supreme, ain't but 9 of those people in the world that renders judgment on whether a woman can go have an abortion or not if she wants to, if it's illegal or not. This the man that's living with this woman, the same woman. You see, I didn't want to go here, Crystal, because I'm so passionate. The same woman who texted and called Anita Hill 20-some damn times when she testified about her nasty ass husband sexual assaulting Anita Hill. That's that same Jenny Thomas. That's the same Jenny Thomas who financed a lot of the buses for the insurrection people to come to Washington, D.C. to do it. But you want to get on here. Them same clowns, Josh Hawley and all of them clowns who protecting this woman could sit up last week and try to talk crazy to Katanya Jackson Brown Jackson. Let me tell you something, Thaddeus Moody. I'm glad you said that. Let me tell you something. This is what's wrong with us right now. And I'm glad that's your opinion, but it's a real shame because it was Will Pax's production. I wonder if Jimmy Kimmel Seinfeld, what would he have done? I don't give a fat rat's ass if he would. Maybe he would have smacked their ass too. And maybe they would have been smart enough not to say it. And maybe they don't have the history that they're saying things about Will Smith and his wife like Chris Rock has. Ain't no damn shame about Oscars so white. That is Moody. Forget, I don't want to say forget, but forget the Oscars so white. See, that's the problem. We give you a halftime show and you forget about everything that the NFL done did to you. This our problem. It's a shame. Will Packer, they ain't gonna damage Will Packer's reputation. Listen to me. Ain't no way in the world I'd smack somebody on national TV. No way. But it ain't no shame because of Will Paxton production. Because what, they let a black face and a white space? We got to quit worrying about these days. They gives us something and no. Thank you for putting that up there, Thaddeus, because I want to know people think like this. It's not a shame. What they give us some crumbs. Well, we're gonna let Will Packer produce it. We're gonna get Tiffany Haddish and Wanda Sykes, and we're gonna all is great with the world. No, that is, we got to stop thinking different. Forget the Oscars. I'm not letting that. Come on, 100 years of this mess, and then they give you one Will Packer. The magical Negro. They doing something when they let Landon or Donald Hall, when they let them get in, or let somebody, they got to let all of us in, Doc. Not just one of us. That's our problem. No, you calm down. It's my goddamn show. Bobby Jones, come on here telling me to calm down. It's my show. I'm passionate about my people. And it's crazy that we still think like this. Can't think like this no more. We can't just, we gave Mills, they let him crip walk. They let Snoop crip walk at halftime, y'all. We're love the NFL again. Shadow show, yes. Tell me to calm down. We got Will Smith, I'm saying. Robert Rising, I just said I wouldn't have walked across the stage and smacked somebody in front of 21 people, million people. I'm not defending Will, but I don't care nothing about Will Packer. Will Packer, it's unbelievable. We just so big. We just want the crumbs from the master's table. I'm thinking this man assaulted this man. But evidently he can't hit hard because he didn't move Chris Rock. But you know what? I just saw Robert Rise. So, Robert Rise, I got a question. Okay? You ain't gonna be in Will Smith's place because you're not Will Smith. And I understand it. Somebody been constantly talking about your wife, talking about you. You got to remember now, Will Smith and his wife boycotted 2016 Oscars for he was up for concussion. Let me give you some context. Chris Rock got on there and told them a new asshole. Go Google it. Told them a new one. Talking about what the hell, Jada talking about she ain't coming to us, she wasn't invited. I mean, just talking. See, y'all, we be so enthralled with these black faces and white spaces that we forget these people are paid to talk like this. Well, he getting his money. Yeah. At the expense of what? Think about it. And Will, why you give these people a chance to say this about you? Why you give these clowns? Why you give these people? I'm mad at Will. I love Will. But I'm mad at because you was right. Keep my wife's name out your mouth. I would have been good. But he could have charged him. But guess what? Alfio Beezy, you are into self-control. Everybody ain't into self-control. That's you. You can sit up on your high perch and just, how the hell you can sit on your high perch and say that about this man. I just don't think I would have did it. Because I care about my name. I care about my name. I just got, and I know some of us are institutional. Listen to me. I know a lot of people don't think like me, but if y'all listening, I'm just telling you this is the way I think. I respect what that is. Moody said. I respect what Alfio just said. But Madonna, I don't know. Madonna, I just don't know. Emotion and egos get you in a lot of trouble. Madonna. Chris, here's the pressing charges. Chris, don't you think this privilege? Alfio, you talking about you got self-control. If you didn't, your ass had been in jail right now. You ain't Will Smith. That's the privilege that Will Smith has, y'all. I don't know what he was thinking, though. What I was thinking, though, and y'all help me with this. What if Chris would have responded the same way Will Smith, and they got to fighting on the stage? Did anybody ever think about that? Yeah, I heard what Denzel said. I ain't heard nobody put that on the screen. I was waiting, so I said I got to say it. What if Chris Rock was said, and they just went at it? I got you, Bobby. I'm past that. Now, Bobby, I got to do a show. Don't be so, don't sit so, welcome to the chop shop, because we chop each other up on this thing. You came out there and said something. I said something. I'm done with it. Let's move on. What's up, Raymo? What if they'd got to fight? He knew Chris. See, y'all got to realize, Chris was on his job. Will was there as a guest. It's two different power dynamics going on there. Will and Jada should keep their marriage personal and not air everything. Corey Willis. Did y'all hear what Corey Willis? Let me put that on the screen. Corey Willis. When Deshaun Watson wanted to keep all this stuff private, you think he wanted all this stuff to get out? August Alsina put that stuff out, Corey Willis. Will and Jada came to respond to it. They didn't put it out. The privilege also, he not being escorted out. Yes, he got to sit back down. I'm reading y'all text. I'm just reading. He reacted because it bothered his wife. He tried to give a giggle to do a comedy show. Comics got a right to do that. And I think it was a good joke. Me personally, I thought it was smooth. You know why? Because all he was doing, I'm going to put it up here just so people, so this all he was talking about, G.I. Jane. That's Demi Moore playing G.I. Jane. And he just said she could play because of a bald head. I think it was a good joke. Robert Miller says, crazy how Will sat there and laughed until Jada wasn't smiling. Yeah. Did anybody hear the Australian version? Did anybody get a check? Because I can't play it. ABC, y'all, I can't play nothing. They'll cut the show. The show will stop immediately. If you notice, I'm not playing videos of it. It's because if I play it on a live show, now if we was recorded and I played it, was cool. But on a live show, and YouTube, they're not gonna let me play it. So I hope y'all go back and look at something. Couldn't have been Terry Crews. I don't know. Terry Crews, I don't know. I shouldn't be saying this. I just don't think he's that tough as you think he is. A lot of people talking about he wouldn't have smacked if somebody else was up there. He wouldn't have smacked. We'll never know. Chris saw his money. Yeah, Chris. Y'all got to realize, Chris got this fixation about black women's hair. That's why the black women mad at him. Thank God you black women on this show ain't mad at him. Around America, all my friends, they've been calling me tearing Chris head off. Because he did a movie called Good Hair. Talking about black women. I mean, it's kind of stuff. So he's still on black women, talking about a black woman in her hair. And he made a joke that was, I mean, comedians gonna tell jokes, man. You know, I never forget the movie, what's that? Eddie Murphy's movies, the Professor Clump in the movie, and David Chappelle made a fool out of Sherman Clump, and then Eddie Murphy came back. Man, sometimes comedians don't realize how that hurt people sometimes. But to get up and come slap the guy, at work, and someone come and physically attack you. And he smacked him. What I liked about it, it wasn't a closed fist. It was a smack. And evidently it wasn't too hard. Because I really read around it a few times, Chris. But it's insulting. And maybe that's what he wanted to do, is insult him like he insulted his wife. I'm not going to hit you. I'm not going to do nothing to draw blood from you. But I want to let you know when her name come out your mouth, it better be respect. Yes, it could have been a better time and a better place, but it's rough. What does it have to do with what happened last? Oh, what happened, Kelton? Kelton said, what does that? Kelton, I missed your comment. It probably way back. No such thing as a private when you're a public figure. You're going to come back. These celebrities got us out here tripping. It's not even our fight. Well, a lot of stuff. The Final Four is not ours, but we watching it. You know? Y'all got to realize I didn't watch the Oscars. I don't watch the Oscars because I get mad, y'all. I get mad because I'm not going. Corey Willis. Where my AKAs at? AKAs. Okay. At your conventions, do you give Deltas awards? Deltas. When you at your convention, do you say, hey, let's get an AKAs an award? The Oscars is theirs. They can give the award to who they want to give them to. We got the NAACP Image Award, and our superstar black asses don't show up. Beyonce, Jay-Z, y'all don't show up there. You showed up for the Oscars, so white. But y'all don't show up for the NCAA Image Awards, the people that celebrate you. I got to be where the white folks at. D-White, y'all help me. Think about what I'm saying. Why? Gina, why? Gina, why? Gina, I'm sit up there and watch Coach K and that broke the record for the of John Wooden's for 13 times in the Final Four. John Wooden was there 12 and won 10 times. Coach K was there 13 times. But he couldn't get there without players that looked like me and Crystal Wicks and Marcus Carroll. No, that's not where the money is. The Oscars ain't where the money is. Ray Moore, no. You don't have to be. They want your talent, Ray. They want your talent, Ray. Your talent is what's valuable. No, it ain't where the money is. You don't know. I was reading the other day how we are over-indexed, black people. They know we gonna buy, we gonna do this, we gonna do this, we gonna do. Have y'all ever thought about? We always talk about our black neighborhood so poor. Why do these other nationalities just come in, set up shop in our neighborhood if we so poor? They know we spend. We got our black talent making a lot of people rich. Michelle Tafoya, she made a fortune interviewing black athletes. And now she says she's going to retire so she can fight critical race theory, CRT. All you people going to work today too. Call on your saints, your can'ts, your ain'ts, and let us all pray a prayer of protection for our family, our friends, working in white and non-black owned jobs today. See, May Jesus be a fence around their heart, guard their tongues, and may the water cooler turns out to be a safe place. Because some people at work got to deal with this. See, Michael Garcia, see, he make a joke like that. The year of the slap. Jawan Howard. Y'all see what I'm talking about? Let me put it on the screen so y'all can see what I'm talking about. This might be a good day. A lot of people, and I know it might be too late to have one in personal days off today. It's a mental health day. Give me a minute. I'll be want to check something out, and I'll be right back.
Here's a list of upcoming events on all ticket attractions. Ice Cream and Friends at the Smart Financial Center. The last 4 remaining home Houston Rockets games at Toyota Center. Alice in Chains at the Cynthia Woods Mitchell Pavilion. Yong at the Worthing Theater. The No Cap Comedy Tour at the NRG Arena. And many more. If you don't see your event here, text, Facebook, or Instagram all ticket attractions to secure tickets for your favorite events. Now back to the Chop Shop with Hatter and Hicks, your midday sports happy hour.
I got something else for y'all. Just hold on. We gonna come back. We coming back. I heard some stuff, y'all. We're gonna stay here. He said, Todd says wife take one every month. Smart wife. Y'all, all I'm thinking about, share the show, man. Cause y'all, and Bobby, I love you. You know I love you, but you caught me at a moment. I got to be emotional about this. I know you had never seen me like that, but let me tell you something. Sometimes you got to be profane to be profound. Well, I apologize if I offend you, but sometimes you got to be profane to be profound. I was thinking about something. And y'all, and I want to hear from y'all. Are you upset it happened? Or are you upset that black men did something wrong in a predominantly white space, historically white space? And be truthful about it. Are you upset at what happened? Or are you upset that a black man did something that people think was wrong in a predominantly plus historically white space? Yeah, Ricky Scott. D White. D White, I want to go there. D White, I like what you put there, but the black news channel, it was, it's just black facing, not black owned. Okay? You got to see who was the originator. I'm gonna give you a little history because D White, you put it up there. I'm gonna give you a little history. So they got J.C. Watts, a Republican, GOP clown. He came up with this concept because he wanted to see how can I'm gonna do like all of them. How can I take advantage of these black, I'm hanging over here with the GOPs, but I want to see how I can, let's get a black news channel. They had on the money, and Chad Khan, the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, came in, fused $50 million. They done run through that. And all they were doing it just was a poor business model. See what they were trying to do, CNN had already do. They gonna pluck the brilliant black people and put them on CNN. It just was already being done. And they didn't forecast CNN them doing it, and they don't have that bigger ratings. Yo, a lot of these people, Fox got the most highest rating. It ain't but 3 million people watching Fox. And they got the highest rating. A lot of people are getting a reach. You can reach people different. I can give y'all some news right now, and y'all can move. It's 50,000, at least 50,000 people a month just on YouTube watch this show and listen to this show. Over almost 200,000 minutes a month are watching this show. So Black News Channel is just called a Black News Channel. It wasn't ours. They had black facing. Yes, they had, and you see how they did them? Just told them. We finished that down. And wasn't going to send them their checks until Roland Martin came in. I mean, it's just so much I can go there. D, it's so much, girl, I can go there with you. I just wanted to ask you a question, though. Hatter, do you know I walked by my sister's killer 2 times in the last month in court? I mean, I also was so close I could have slapped her. Oh, and I wanted to. It took everything inside me. Y'all see what Mindy just said? And Mindy, every time you bring this up, it touches me. I happen to be able to meet your sister. Sweet lady. She told me one day she was going to come on here and talk sports with me on the show. And a guy shoots her. Her baby's father. And Mindy and them got to deal with that. That's why they didn't like what Will Smith doing. I don't want nobody being violent toward me. That's why I'm not violent toward nobody else. I don't, for what? Can't we just love a little bit more? Just love a little bit more. That drama already reached people at the top. Let me tell you something. We can say they might cash in on it. You're right. Marcus Carroll, let me put what you said on the screen. I'm going to put it up on the screen. I'm going to just put y'all comment. For me, it's a fact that some people champion Will Smith for his actions. For his action, but calling for stricter penalties and kids. And but kids can't do what grown folks do, Lana. Yeah, kids can't do what grown folks do. It's a lot of stuff kids can't do, grown folks do. But check this out, y'all. I'm just putting y'all comments up here so people can see what y'all saying. Just why a show like this is so important. Because I know y'all been thinking about this last night. I wasn't watching the show. Somebody had to come and say, Robert, come and look at this. It's crazy, man. Yes, Minnie's sister, I mean, was delightful. If y'all knew her, you'll be saying, this big grown-ass dude shot this woman? See, I can't go to court, Minnie. I'm glad I can't go to court. Michael Jordan said it was bad time in his opinion. We always wonder why he didn't. I ain't never wondered. Michael Jordan. Let me put this on the screen, y'all. Let me put this on the screen. I got to put this on the screen. Michael Jordan said, bad timing, in my opinion. We always wonder why he didn't slap August Sr. after the entanglement. Will wouldn't have done that to Corey Holcomb, earthquake, assault and quit. You don't know what he would have did to nobody. August Alsina was in a consented relationship with his wife that he agreed to because his wife let him mess with women or whoever he want to mess with. That's why he didn't slap August Alsina. Come on, y'all. Quit looking at this crap on Twitter and repeating it on this damn screen. I think he wanted to embarrass him like his wife felt embarrassed, probably. Okay. Okay. I was on the road last night when my phone started blowing up. Yeah. Man, y'all just don't understand, man. This stuff is data. Did y'all hear what this man just said? I'm not going to even address this one because I just explained it. Maybe he didn't hear me. It was a consented situation, Marcus Carroll. Jada's at fault for sleeping with the dude, period. She allowed him to sleep with people. Marcus Carroll, go look up the situation. Go read go look at the Red Table Talk when they were talking about it. They got an open relationship. See, most of people's wives and girlfriends, they cheating on them and ain't telling them. Jada said, I wants to knock him off. Okay, baby, I'm going to knock her off. Okay, baby, I'm going to knock whatever. We don't know what we're doing. Come on, Marcus. Come on. Hold up. I got something else. Y'all keep talking. With Ketanji Brown, hold up, this man, Melvin Dude said, hold up, would Ketanji Brown husband would have been treated in the same if he started slapping them men? Hey! I thought about that, Melvin Dude. I said he should have started slapping Miss McCollum. I'm sorry. No, don't slap nobody, man. Don't slap nobody. Don't slap nobody. Chris Rock, man, he said something after that. I know it. I'm sorry, Trey. He said something after that when the slap. He said it's the greatest night in the history of television. He kept joking. He said I could go. He was gonna say something else. He was gonna mention that August Alsina stuff. I know Chris Rock. You know, somebody made a joke talking about how this is how Chris is in March. Imagine how he is in August. Playing. People still been messy. Like I said, I didn't mind him yelling. I don't care if Will was laughing at first. I think it was a good joke. Wow. Thank you. You beat me to it. What was the lesson learned from this, though? I learned to stop talking about people joking or not because you have no idea people are going through. Thank you, Stephen Woods. Stephen Woods, boy. See, Stephen Woods, you know I always got a place that I'm going. Yes. Comedians. I talked to my friends, comedians, this morning. And they had their opinion. I didn't care what the hell they was telling me about. Talking about, is it fair to mess with somebody's body deformity? Is it all right? Is it all right? If he know, I don't know what Chris Rock knew about the alopecia. It ain't about the alopecia. You got to understand. Michael Jordan, go look at the history. Chris Rock, something has happened before. I am not, listen to me. I am not, because if in case you just came home, so Robert's up here agreeing with Chris. What's his name? Will Smith. No, I'm not. Ain't nowhere in the world I'd have went up there and slapped somebody on national TV. I ain't saying I wouldn't slap somebody, but on national TV, nah. I ain't going that penitentiary. But Chris Rock has talked about them before. And this time the man said, all right, I'll let you get away with that stuff in 2016. And now my wife looking all messed up. You don't know what that man going through at home. Y'all talking all that old tough crap on here. It's easy to talk and tweet on here. Some of y'all run around y'all house. Y'all don't run it. Man, I talked to some women that got alopecia. But it ain't going to kill you. But the man just said, keep my wife's name out your mouth. Chris understood it was a bad joke. He understood. They was wrong. But listen, is it okay? I never say this, but it's okay that both of them was wrong. Some people, I didn't say all people, some people run their house, some people run around it. You know who you are. But, you know, when I think about this stuff, I think about the restraint that Officer Goodman had. Officer Goodman, who was leading the insurrectionists in the Capitol building away from the Capitol members, the Congress members, the restraint he had. He could have used deadly force, but he had restraint. Chris Rock put out a movie about good hair. Stop this, Herb. We was all right till you came on here, man. Don't be doing that, man. Thank you. Jada Mike, man, we don't know what people go. I told y'all a long time ago, be kind with everybody, because everybody fighting a battle. But I do know when some of us get some money, we lose our entire mind. I've been blessed to be around. Y'all got to understand, in my 30 years in this business, I've been blessed to be around people. When I met them, they didn't have a quarter, a pot to piss in and a window to throw out. Now they in a mansion. Let me repeat that. I've been in a situation, and some of y'all been in them too. Y'all know some people, poor as hell. When some of us, I didn't say all of us, when some of us get money. See, Madonna, you know why I ain't so happy about, I didn't see Beyonce last night, Madonna, because I wasn't going to watch, I don't watch the Oscars no more. Listen to me. I didn't know Will Packer was producing the show until they got in the fight. Because I don't give a fat rat's ass about the Oscars. The Oscars don't care nothing about us. The Oscars have showed you. So I don't know what Beyonce did. I haven't seen it. I wouldn't have known nothing about the Oscars if somebody hadn't brought it to my attention last night. Robert, come see this. I didn't know Will Packer produced it. So what they gonna do next year? See, Chris Walker told y'all better take advantage of this George Floyd stuff. Next year, they're gonna go back to normal. That's why I don't care about what Beyonce did. I don't know what she sung. I don't care. Of course, he owed Chris Rock an apology. And Chris Rock, I think both of them should hug it and talk it out. And they probably did it last night. We just up here talking. Hey, wait a minute. Hey, son, you don't be listening to what Herb be talking about, man. Son, a woman I know said they're not sharing. See, I knew I passed that. Herb, don't, hey, Herb, stop, Herb. Stop. Just stop, man. I know it's hard. Just stop. But there's so much to unpack in this thing, y'all. We just got to be smarter. There's a lot of therapy needed. We know it's something going on at home. It's something going on at home. This thing happens. People call me, tell me, Robert, it happened when Questlove was getting his Oscar for Summer of Soul. I don't care. Some people tell me they're embarrassed in front of white people. I think it was tacky. Hold up. But I think it's tacky to use people's appearance as the butt of a joke. That's just me. Maybe it's just weak comedy. It's weak comedy. Because y'all, we're messy people. Y'all know it. I look at this as the immaturity of society. We figure out we can, if y'all notice this, check this out. We figure out we can do what we want to do if we just apologize. Everything gonna be all right. You walk up and smack this man on national TV, and a few minutes later, you're crying about the award and offending the award, not the man. Yeah, I'm getting on Will's ass now too. All of that couldn't pass through your mind when you walked up there and smacked that man. Yeah, he laughed at the joke first, till he looked at his woman. Love make you do strange things, man. A joke about her hair being short. If your child asks you if Will Smith did the right thing, what would you say? Put it up on the screen. If your child asks you, what would you say? I understand, Buck. I understand. But Buck, if your child asks you if Will Smith did the right thing, what would you say? A man of his stature and respectability to slap another man. I ain't got nothing to do with his respectability. You respect Will? Chris Rock also, he could have used this airtime for anything else but to make fun of this woman's hair. Where's the outrage about that? He apologized to everybody except Chris Rock. But I was tripping. You know what I was thinking about last night? That you can assault somebody on live television on a stage at the Oscar and take your seat and just watch the rest of the show. I like that, Marcus Carroll. A lot of people call it violence. Was it violence? Then I looked up violence. Violence is the use of physical force so as to injure, abuse, damage, or destroy. You know I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up. Then somebody told me, Robert, everybody should have the absolute right to say whatever they want. But you can't then restrict people's reactions to what you said. Yeah. Yeah, Chris Walker, he said, man, Will Smith just slapped the hell out of him. Saved by the bell. Saved by the bell. Now we can start talking sports. Come on in, Jim. What's going on, man?
What we got today? What we got?
We ain't talking about nothing but Will Smith, so we don't want to talk about nothing about that no more.
No.
Nothing. We
Y'all
done
took
talked
a
about
while.
that for an hour. We don't want to talk about. I don't want to talk about. You wait till I'm off the show and then you come and talk about that. I done wheeled out. I got so much more to go. Jimmy, I would have took 2 more hours to finish talking about how I feel about that situation. But what else going on, man? We had great things happen at the Final Four. It's upon us. You had stuff. Jimmy, explain this to me. I couldn't wait on you to come on. Because I ain't heard about it. I ain't seen it. What the hell is the Battle of the Brands? Where did that shit come from? The Battle of I heard the Battle of the Bands. When did the Battle of the Bands? Jimmy, I didn't even know it was a such thing until I just went through some tweets and I said, what the hell is the Battle of the Brands? Maybe you can help. I didn't even call you. It was so important that I didn't even call you about it. But I just wanted to bring it up on the show. What the hell is that? What the hell is that?
I think a couple of years ago, I think Clyde Jackson and Larry from the Houston Defenders collaborated. Clyde at the time was with the Houston Hoops.
Okay.
And they collaborated on the concept basically to parlay their efforts and to galvanize a lot of the teams in the area to produce an event that could attract by being 2 sneaker sponsored programs collaborating for the first time and one of the rare times in the country to attract other top sneaker programs, all period. Okay. And that was the concept.
You said 2 years ago, during the pandemic? That was before the pandemic?
Meaning that I said a couple of years ago, meaning that a couple of 2, 3 is in the pandemic, right on the front, on the heels of the pandemic when they first attempted to do so.
Okay.
So
I just never heard of it. That's why I'm asking. I never heard of it.
I mean, and so that's the Battle of the Brands. That title came forth. And so, however, in the midst of doing so, then there's other events come and go. And now this event it took place this past weekend, and the Houston Hoops stayed at home, played in the event. So kudos to the Houston Hoops, because that's 2 local events in consecutive weeks, which they have played and participated in, as opposed to going out of town and taking your show on the road. You conquer your city. They conquer the city, which the Houston Hoops, from what I understand, I think Doug Jones covered that event And if I'm not mistaken, Houston Hoops won all 3 championships, and highlighted by the Houston Hoops 17U just knocking off the Houston Defenders en route in their bracket. I mean, I just knocked them off. Heard they beat them pretty good, yeah. And so, like I say, you got to acknowledge the guys when they stay at home.
Okay.
And for a purpose, you get the parents understand gas is high enough, expenses are higher, hotels are higher. You get to sleep in your own bed and enjoy your babies playing this sport while they're sharpening their eyes. Because no matter what grassroots sneaker sponsor program you're with, the clock really doesn't start for them until April the 8th. That's the first live period. So basically, all of the teams are going to be jockeying and trying to find their cohesive balance with their team, with their personnel. You're going to drop and add maybe a player or two because everybody coming in may have thought they was going to be starting, and that's what certain people, and whatever means for which you can find that common ground of a positive atmosphere in your program, that's what you got to do. So for JL3, they took their show on the road.
Okay.
They went to Dallas and they took multiple teams to Dallas. I know for sure 2 17s, 116, 115. And between 2 17, something like that. Yeah, and they went 9-1. I know between the teams collectively. And I might what I've read. That's a great showing. So shout out to them. You know, everybody had to go the same route. But you know, JL3, they're 17 and under, did not play, have not yet to play in Houston. We're 2 weeks into the grassroots circuit. They played their first event this weekend. Well, they had injuries, so to speak, last weekend, and did not make it to the spring icebreaker. Neither did any of them. But at the same time, that's one team, meaning that they have Moochie Norris has a second 17 and under team.
A second one?
So
okay.
They went up there and went undefeated this past weekend.
Okay.
Moochie's team, won all 4 of the games.
Okay.
And the 16s, the 15s. So we'll see. I mean, I don't know if that's, but I just noticed that's peculiarly, they didn't play last week. None of the high school teams played last weekend. But they all made their debut this week.
I got another question, Jamie, before I forget it, because when I talk to people, and they ask me a question, when in June, or let's say a guy didn't play this weekend, okay, and the mom and daddy just said they want to rest and recover after 2 weeks. You know, when they finish the season, they couldn't play in your event because they're going to rest for 2 weeks. Why would a team, and somebody from y'all help me, from the basketball community, you're talking about, well, you're part of the team, you got to be with the team. But I always did, what you have to realize, if your kid been playing, especially if your kid was at the state championship, you know, it's when is he going to rest? So he going to go straight from playing, okay, straight into playing with you and working out with you. Then in about 2 or 3 weeks, when they get back to school, they got to get right into off-season school training with their school. So Kevin Woods and people on this app, when do these kids have the recovery period? When is a good time for the recovery period? I'm just asking because some people ask, when do they get their bodies? And then she told me, some lady, a parent told me that in June, this team is going to play every week in June. Jimmy, I thought June used to be with franchise, they used to just, it's camp month. Guys go to check. Now why guys going to tournaments in June now?
Well, you have camp month, meaning that back in the days, in the recent years, a lot of the college campuses conduct their camps in June. Well, in the last 2 years, the COVID has hindered a lot of those camps.
Okay.
So it kind of broke the normal flow of things into June.
Okay.
Meanwhile, you have more tournaments that have came back on the forefront to take place and to compete with some of those camps, because at the last 2 weekends of June is your high school TABC events with the UIL, with approved by the UIL, which enables the college coaches to come out and watch them play. So basically, the last 2 weekends in June.
What month that in?
June. That's June now.
Okay.
So that's the last 2 weekends of June.
Okay.
So once again, now that supersedes me taking my team on your college campus now for a team camp, or taking, for a league. So now, because you as a college coach, not only you can come and see my kid play with his high school team, but you get all those other coaches that I want can be in town and can see him as well. So that has opened up a void on a pothole in June, to whereas once again, now, if you are one of the ultra elite players, then yes, you may be going to individual invite only camps, USA basketball, you got NBPA top 100, those take place in June as well. But and it used to be the Nike Elite 100. Well, Nike has cut that event from the budget. So there's no more Elite 100 for now, for this year for certain. It takes place every year in St. Louis, Missouri, which has been a great fixture because it's in the middle of the country, and St. Louis is a pretty decent trip to watch a lot of the underclassmen. So that's where we are right now. I mean, in that, so a lot of people, you see more and more tournaments. So that means the question back that you asked is about the rest part. Now that's the part of the obligation, and that from each his own. Like we had Wesley Yates III. They won the state championship with Beaumont United, and Wesley Yates Jr., the father, said, "Oh, how you feel, son?" He said, "I'm aching." Well, guess what? That's the right answer. So that means your ass gonna sit still and you're not gonna touch a basketball for a week. And that's the verdict. And you can go watch some basketball, but you're not gonna sit there. Your body need to recover. Well, every parent doesn't subscribe to the same theories, because then guess what? There's some guys want to get out there and work out, got the workout guys, and that would be that part. What I just gave was a factual from that particular family. Next, other families and other workout guys, I would love to know their answer and their thoughts on the magic question: when and how much time do these kids need to recover? Now, mind you, everybody don't play to the last week to the state tournament. Some of these guys, their high school teams got knocked out the third week of February. You follow me? So everybody don't play at the state tournament. So it ain't like now.
So the person I was talking to did. So that the person I was talking to did.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but the vast majority.
Okay.
So that means everybody's scale is different, but still, the question is the same. The question don't change. When
do they get rest?
Or what? Do you have a point in your schedule where this is rest and recover? And guess what? That goes hand in hand. Because I'm just like you tossed that question to hit him in the left ear with that. I got one to hit him in the right ear in. Do you have a date in your schedule for your upperclassmen to take the SAT or the ACT? That's my question to go to the right here. And that's a real question, a valid question. You can make a practice. You can call a practice on a Saturday. You can schedule a tournament on a Saturday. You can go, and Lord knows, I know all these different requests. We can't play before this time. Can we give us our game on this time? My coach got to work in the morning. They got to work this different. We got my coach coached 2 teams. Can we let them not play at the same time? Can you give us a game after 1? Well, guess what? All these different requests. Why isn't one of them? Can we get our first game on Saturday after 2 o'clock? Because I got 5 kids taking the SAT or the ACT.
Well, maybe the kids had already took it already.
Well, it's still, that means you still can make the request. That way you can have your whole team there and in respect of that 1 or 2. That way you don't, otherwise the kids feel pressure. And the kids will feel like they're letting their teammates down. Like, man, damn, man, I got my mama wrote sign me up for the SAT. We got a tournament, this big tournament, and so-and-so going to be there watching the kids. I need to get some of that ink. So those are good questions. What they saying in the boom boom room on that? What the boom boom room?
I just put something on the screen for you.
Yeah.
You already know this one, though, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Louisiana Tech. We talked about it on Thursday, Hal. I tossed that one out there about Louisiana Tech, and I said about Tavin Hester, because I think Kenneth Lofton father was in the boom boom room, and he threw it out there to us. And I threw it out there to the people that Tavin Hester had definitely got an interview and favored some people, and he could very well possibly be the head coach, because we were talking about Junior Lofton and talking about the NBA. He put his name in the draft, but Junior Lofton has not put his name in the portal. He declared for the draft just to go out and guess what? It's one of those
else
things.
Put their name in the draft. Say they're gonna put their name in the draft.
Who?
John Walker III.
Well, ain't nothing wrong with that. Guess what?
No, he said, I'm going to hire an agent and put my name in the draft.
Well, that's a whole different thing. But legally, you can do that too now. Because of the new rules, you can hire an agent for that process. But if you're close to some of the kids and you can tell what the intention are, some of these people are just going to test the water, gather intel about themselves, and they just want to find out, guess what? Do I have a shot? Is any one team out there like me? What I need to improve on? And then the agent would gather that intel, and they would go back and make a business decision.
I said something the other day. I said anybody can get in the draft. Everybody can attempt to get in the draft. But Melvin Dewis said Seton Hall didn't waste no time. Melvin Dewis, I can tell you, that deal was done. Melvin Dewis, I'm finna help you out. That deal was done with that guy before he even went on that run. Shaheem Holloway, that's his alma mater, is Seton Hall. That deal was done before he even won a game in the tournament. So you're right, they didn't waste no time. That deal was done before it even happened. So just to let you know.
Now I'm going to show you the levels on this thing. For those that subscribe to these kids are really good. These kids are great. Let's see how many of those kids from St. Peter's he gonna take over there to Seton Hall. So you think about it. You think
it's great? But hey, guess what I did find out? 80% of them kids played in the EYBL.
Well, a lot of them did.
80%. I already looked it up. 80% of them played EYBL.
A lot of those kids and people understand something, Hal. Let's just stop right there. Look at TSU.
Okay.
How many of them kids played on the sneaker circuit from Houston that you know of? People get this stuff. What?
I don't know. I don't know what program they play.
A sneaker sponsor.
I don't know. I can't tell you which one team that now one of them played on. I don't know. That ain't my. I don't keep up with it.
ETN played with Chris Walker with the Chris Walker Academy. Remember, Chris Walker had an
Chris
Under Armour
didn't have no
deal.
sneaker team.
He had an Under Armour package and a sponsorship. Those kids were not going to pay for that, and he was playing. His team had the option now to play at all of them. He had to end the play along with the unarmed guys. He had an unarmed consulting deal. It didn't apply to the grassroots. It was a year-round deal. So what little PJ? No, I think little PJ. Who did little PJ play for? You guys help me out on that.
Did he play for Coos?
Coos. That's what he played for. They wasn't sponsored at the time. No Carl Nicholas. He played with the Defenders.
Lawson played with the Hoops. You said that, right?
Lawson played for the Houston Hoops.
Okay.
That's a free space in bingo.
Okay.
I'm just trying to think. It's four of them on there that are four key ones that played during the down the nitty-gritty of their schedule. But you guys, and so my point is it's so many kids out there. A lot of these kids, what do you think they all not going to Kansas? They all not going to Duke or Carolina. These guys you see out there, they gotta play somewhere. They're playing somewhere. And they trickle down to the colleges. When they go to the college, they transfer and they bounce back and get their redemption.
Corey, why does he need to take the coaches? The coaches chose that he didn't make the coaches work for that staff. And I'm sure the coaches, they figured out a way to get them coaches. They gave camps and stuff and get them coaches something at St. Peter's. They might didn't have a salary, but them coaches might have other jobs and other obligations anyway, Corey. So he don't need to take them coaches so they can make a good salary. We don't know the dynamics of the coaches that Shaheem Holloway had on. We don't know the dynamic of what it made up for those guys. And then maybe he will take a couple of them. And then he don't have to. He don't need to. I mean, because they was talking about the coaches didn't make nothing. ESPN ran a thing talking about the coaches didn't make that much money. Maybe the coaches were school teachers. They did something else. And they had jobs. They had other jobs. They might have business owners. So they were able to help in the program. So that's what I'm aiming. But 2,300 people, max is 2,600 people on that campus. So, shout out to him. And I'm just, the kid just got hot at the right time. And his alma mater needed a coach. And guess what? He's going to his alma mater. I think that's a great thing for the guy. Let's see now. Let's see, can he do the same thing, the same magic at Seton Hall?
So there you go, and thank you, Herb, for refreshing my memory. 3 of the 5 Houston players that are in the rotation at Texas Southern University this past year played on the primary grassroots sneaker circuits. So we have the young man from Bryan, AJ Lawson, played with the Houston Hoops. Bryson Etienne played for Rick Nelson with the Texas Elite on the Adidas gauntlet at the time. And of course, Walker played with with Marlon Lowe and his Texas Pro on that gauntlet as well. Carl Nicholas, I'm trying to think, I said, was it Defenders? Oh, just win.
Texas Pro was on the gauntlet? Texas Pro?
Yeah, they were with Adidas.
So they went to the gauntlet too?
They were Adidas.
Jimmy, they were Nike too, Jimmy. I ain't talking about during his time. I'm just letting you know they were Nike because they played on EYBL.
Texas Pro had Adidas sponsorship way more years than they had.
I don't care, but I remember them in 2000. We played against them on EYBL. They played against the Hoops.
What year you talking about?
When Robert and them was playing, Isaiah Taylor was the starting guard on the team.
That's 10 years ago. They also had Galen.
I'm just telling you, they played for the EYBL. You come talking about the more. Excuse me, sir. All I said was they played for the EYBL. And they did. That's the truth.
Okay, and my response was they played Adidas way more years than they did with Nike.
So what?
Nike tried to put a deal together for them and did a play-in tournament. That way you had to go to a region and qualify for an EYBL spot. Texas
They played
Pro, right
on
there.
the EYBL.
That's me at. That's
I
me
don't
at
care how
Louis
many years
and
ago. That's what I'm trying. You still want to bring in your, oh, well, what are you? I'm just telling you they played at EYBL.
Hella. Nobody disputed that. You blowing a gasket
But
away. They played
no, I'm
EYBL.
calling glasses because you just talking about, they
because
played on
Texas
Adidas
Pro
more.
Pro is not member.
They played on Adidas
they're not a
more.
memory from the EYBL. They all remember anything. If anything, Texas Pro is remembered for not qualifying for the Nike sponsorship.
You don't remember.
The EYBL.
I remember.
That was the best team in the country that year that didn't have a sneaker deal.
I remember them playing on EYBL. You don't. You talking about what people? I remember. Because they kept getting their head tore off. I remember. You come with about what you and nobody else. I remember. God. So you can't die. They played in the EYBL. Isaiah, Caven Tilbury. Got about 2 or 3 more guys. I think Chicken played on that damn. Somebody played on that damn team. So they played. That's all I'm saying. I mean, but you talking about, but forget what that was. They can. All you had to do, okay. In addition to, you trying to downplay they didn't play on EYBL and they did. Merle Cole help them get your partner. Help them get that deal.
Merle Cole attempted to help them get a EYBL deal. He made a tournament and they didn't qualify. How they got to the semifinals in the summer after that.
They played, Jimmy. I watched them play.
I understand that they had finagled in, they got in there, but then it came to a point to where now they had to go and do it that way. Hell, Merle mentioned it in his book.
I ain't read his book.
Well, that's your fault.
Excuse me. I was there. That's your fault. You weren't there. I was there.
So let me get this straight. So your son played the Houston Hoops. I mean, played the EYBL.
Yeah. And
you sit there and telling these people that I wasn't there. That what you saying?
I don't give a man. I ain't worried about your ass. I'm telling you, dude. You ain't. You worried about you. You sitting up here telling me I was at the EYBL because my son played. Okay? And we played, and Marlon Lowe and them played. So all that shit you talking about don't matter. That's the point I'm trying to make.
They absolutely played EYBL. I said that was 10 years ago. That was in 2012.
I didn't say what year.
I'm talking about the recent now. I said in the recent. When Kendrick Davis was playing with Marlon Lowe, they were more. Remember, they had a deal with the Adidas.
I don't mind you saying what you saying. You trying to discount what I said. And I was there watching them play like this here. And you talking about they ain't remember from that. Shit, I remember.
You were in anybody's resume, you remember more than likely from where you had the most success at. In anybody's resume.
Fucking God.
You remember where you had the most success from. By the masses. By the masses. And that's the truth in most cases. So most of their success was with the Texas Pro that was the Adidas. Now, wow. I'm talking about as far as on their sneaker circuit. Now, that team, once again, Isaiah Austin, Emmanuel Mudiay, that was a dream team that was primed to go and get a deal, and it did not go through. And that's the truth in regard to that. They basically had that bracket set up for Texas Pro to run right through that bracket and get it. Got upset in the semifinals. That happens. But anyway, in regard to the TSU players, as we're saying, and a lot of the players that are around on various colleges, you look around, a lot of these young men, they played on sneaker circuits. They played against a lot of these other guys, and therefore the familiarity with those guys is a commonplace. Some of these guys, it ain't like back in the days, whereas you were segregated and you were basically shielded from playing against some of these guys. A lot of the sneaker teams, just as this weekend, You see, like a Houston Hoops got a chance to go and play against Texas Takeover and other programs in the last week or two that they would not. Those guys would normally not have the opportunity to play against those teams unless they went to a tournament. And if even so, in recent years, the tournaments had went to what they call super pool format back years ago. So that means even then you got into the same tournament, you would have to win your pool just to get a chance to play one of those guys when everybody in their particular pool went into the main brackets. And that's how that became the serial of the week of the year back in yesteryear with a lot of those tournaments. So what an opportunity was far and few in between to get those shots. But nowadays, like I say, thanks a lot of these guys, they play, and especially in this state, can't speak for many others, but a lot of guys in Texas, you got opportunity to play these teams, but it's very rare, like what the Houston Hoops did this past weekend, that they're going to participate in tournaments. How? They play mostly showcase games nowadays when they're not playing with their regular stuff. They don't play.
So what's the difference? What made them play in a tournament? New leadership? What? Because you got to understand.
They probably missed it. They probably missed it. I don't know. That's a good question.
You got a Schumacher's not here now. So it's change of leadership. You know what I'm saying? Mo Taylor and them might say, man, let's go play. I don't know because I haven't talked to nobody.
They had to. Their actions damn show it, and it feels you know what? And guess what? Mo Taylor winning with these dudes.
Yeah,
man, I just thought about it. The Hoops off what? Didn't they run the table last week? They ran the table this week.
Where they played last week? I thought they did
at the Icebreaker.
Oh, they ran the table at that. See, I didn't know. Okay,
ran the table.
Are they playing against teams that's top teams?
Yeah, they're playing. Well, I'm sorry, they didn't run the table at the Icebreaker. They lost to Live On. They lost to Live On out of
Live On is an EYBL team.
Yes, they lost to Live On.
Okay.
So and that was a game that went down to the wire. Live On got a steal in the basket in the closing seconds. But Mo Taylor.
Oh, wait a minute. Steve Woods, the coach on this. Steve Woods, why ain't you telling us what's going on? Steve Woods, you know what I was talking about. Y'all sit back and didn't say nothing a minute ago. Yeah, oh my God, y'all killed me with that. But they lost to Live On. Okay, all right. So who is Stephen Wood? 21 is Tugler. I kind of like him. I ain't never seen him play this year. I like him. Just in the highlights, because I ain't seen his lowlights. And who is 22 on the team? Stephen Woods. I want to know who 22 is and 21. I saw them in the highlights. And I'd never seen you talking about he was working, he didn't come back to his computer. Who is 22? Tell me who is 22. Somebody, I want to know who 22 on not U of H. I'm about to call them U of H. Houston Hoops team. Doug, I know you know Doug. Who was 22? You, Doug, you was there.
Yeah, Doug was there. He's Doug
22
Jones
with some yes, of course, every player have lowlights. Malik Presley. Oh, he from St. Marcus. Okay, see, I didn't know who he was. See?
Oh, yeah, Malik. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Malik is
and the reason I said lowlights, everybody's not gonna have a highlight. Because guess what? Ochai Agbaji, he been having lowlights all through the tournaments until last night. So, and he's an NBA draft pick. So guess what? All players have lowlights. Let me repeat that. All players. So what else you got, Jim?
You know what? I mean, a kid like JoJo Tugler, he's at Cy Falls High School. He plays on the same high school team with Josiah McWright. Josiah McWright at Cy Falls.
I like Josiah.
And Josiah, who's signed with Louisiana Tech.
So he can get out of here.
Talvin Helster, who just was named head coach at Louisiana Tech, officially, well, it hadn't been officially because the press conference will be tomorrow. But he's agreed to become the new head coach at Louisiana Tech. Talvin Helster. And one thing I like about
he recruiting Josiah?
No, I'm not sure. Talvin was at Texas Tech, and I'm not sure if he's recruiting Josiah.
Oh, that's right. He was at Tech. You're right. Okay.
And, but he only was at Tech 1 year.
Mhm.
He went and got that Big 12 on his resume,
Okay.
which that's important. That's important. And you work for certain coaches, certain alumni and boosters get to see you, see how you move around. And the wives get to sit in the suite with the other wives or mingle at certain time. And that's how the relationships, and that's how you can end up in a situation like Talvin Hester, who left Louisiana Tech a year ago to get a better opportunity for his family, get a pay raise, get to go and diversify his portfolio. He goes to Lubbock, and guess what? It ain't just going to Louisiana Tech. These dudes shocked the hell out of the Big 12 this year. Think about it. You lost your head coach Chris Beard to Texas, right? Adams get up in there. Coach Adams steps up in and he leads them teams. They beat a couple of those big dogs, I think, this year. I think they beat Kansas this year. And then you go and you make it into the
Who beat
NCAA
Kansas?
game. I think Texas Tech did it
Oh,
not?
Texas Tech is a big dog. What do you mean? They are a big dog.
No. Based on the hand that they were dealt with when the coach left, Chris Beard left, and Adams walked in there. Remember, Texas was supposed to have been like, ooh, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, they got the dream team of
Coach, he didn't leave
coaches.
the cupboard bare. They in the Big 12, Jimmy. We just look at the game different.
Iowa State is too.
Iowa State was didn't win but 2 games, Jimmy.
And look what they did this year. They shocked the Big 12.
Texas Tech won way more than 2 games. So I expected more out of Texas Tech.
You with Chris Beard leaving, with Texas Tech success, unless you were a Red Raider diehard, most people didn't expect for Texas Tech to do what they did.
I got a question. If you
remember
what the hell you play?
They didn't leave the cover. Remember now, you had
the
a
Big
transfer.
12 supposed to be a Power 5 conference. Ain't the Big 12 is a Power 5 conference?
Absolutely.
So every team in there think they the baddest. They think they the baddest things in Sykes
We're not talking about the teams think. I'm talking about unless you were a part of a diehard follower of Texas Tech, based on what they had. You got Edwards transferring on out and coming to U of H. Wait a minute,
don't even mention his name.
No, I've been saying, hold on. Then you got a kid they got coming in. Then we did not know at the time if his skill set would transfer over to the Big 12. Kevin O'Banner, who played for Texas Tech with Marlon Lowe as well. Kevin O'Banner went to Oral Roberts. He transfers to Texas Tech, right? And now Talvin was a big reason that kid went over to Texas Tech. Big reason he went over there. And guess what? Kevin O'Banner ended up being one of their top 2 or 3 scorers on the team, if not the top scorer this year. So you didn't, at the time, it's like, oh, we got to see. We got to see how this is going to work out. But guess what? It worked out for him. Now, Talvin Hester he gets his first head job. And that is awesome because of the fact that not only from this state, you get Talvin with his first head job, you get Jerome Tang with his first head job in a 2-week span. And both those guys are very, 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 very good friends. Very good friends. And Uric is part of friends. Uric hasn't had his first job yet, head job, but he goes over with Tang. And that says a lot right there because Alvin Brooks III, he's next on deck, and probably Uric is next on deck. But I thought this Louisiana Tech job, Adam, tell you why I'm happy. Well, I'm more happy for Talvin Hester because he helps the Southwestern Athletic Conference because he's one of the coaches that can say that the SWAC can say this is one of our former coaches that became a head coach. He got his feet wet down in the SWAC, Prairie View A&M, where Talvin Hester was assistant coach at. So, and I know Byron Smith was trying to get that job as well because Byron Smith is from Shreveport, Louisiana, and at Louisiana Tech would have been almost like going home. But Talvin, understand how they thinking. They liked Talvin. They liked the administration, from what I understand. They liked everything about him, the way he conducted himself, and he got high marks from all angles. And don't get it twisted, he's the primary reason why Ken Jr. Lofton signed with Louisiana Tech, as far as on the coaching staff. So that means you might lose Ken Lofton Jr. if he decides not to go and pursue the NBA opportunities this year. You might lose him. If it's any chance to keep him, you just eliminated the excuse. So it won't be because you didn't know nobody on the staff. Talvin is the guy that's in the fold now. That don't mean Junior Lofton's gonna come back. But if you don't hire Talvin, you will have no chance of keeping Ken Lofton Jr. I'm sorry. And you could think you get your thoughts on that, Hannah.
I'm gonna leave that one alone, man. I don't know. I don't know enough about the situation.
Say, if they don't hire Talvin, now once again. So my thing is for Louisiana Tech fans, don't you get pissed off if Junior Lofton still don't come back.
No.
At least you got a fighting chance. He's gonna go through and Talvin gonna get all chances. Because my thing is this: Ruston, Louisiana, you had a grave opportunity to go and shower your love upon Ken Lofton Jr. 8 months ago, when the name, image, likeness rules were put into place. He should have had the whole city. We made fun. We poked at it all the time. We should have had a big burger, name it the Big Junior. People laughed, but they remember that type of love. If that was and economically, from a family, their family understand. His dad is a member of the school board down in Port Arthur, Texas, a long-standing, law-abiding citizen who's a key figure in that part of Southeast Texas. His mama Gina, well respected down there as well. But guess what? I think Junior only got like 1 or 2 name, image, likeness deal. He should have had 10. Should have had 10.
Man, when I'm finding out Oscar Sheway from Kentucky, you know what he riding around that campus, Kentucky campus with?
What?
Porsche 911.
No,
Porsche 911. Oh, yes. Do you know how much money they gave your boy NIL? I'm talking about NIL. Quote, NIL to the boy Gillespie from Chris Walker School. Their guard. Meal ticket, Jimmy. Colin Gillespie got a meal ticket from NIL from Villanova. I said, what? A meal ticket. I said, get the hell out of here. But he got the complexion for protection for collection. So he all right. He gonna be all right. But no, I mean, it's just unique, man. I mean, shout out to Talvin, man. Shout out to these guys getting these jobs, man. Dennis Gates got the Missouri job.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, Dennis Gates.
And Jimmy, that's a rare case, Jimmy. The black coach get fired and they hire another black coach. In Missouri, that ain't rare. That ain't rare, Jimmy. You feel me? So shout out to Missouri for saying, okay. And I like Quanzo Martin, man. But a lot of people.
Quanzo gonna be all right. Be all right. I mean, you gotta win, man. You gotta win. Yeah. And understand Quanzo didn't get fired because he didn't, because of him and being the person that he is and not being outspoken. Don't get it twisted. Yeah. That you got to win. And that's the thing with
Rob Lanier, Jimmy. That's one. I don't know him that good. Have you?
Yeah, that's Rob Lanier. That's my guy. That's my guy.
I don't know him.
Right. Yeah, when I was in Atlanta back in January, Rob Lanier, I was busy and I was like, I called him, let him know I was coming in town. I was in town. Hell, Rob Lanier stopped what he was doing and came to my hotel, to my suite. Sit down there and chat and chopped it up with me. I was like, "You want to go get some?" Man, no, man, I'm good, man. I get enough. We just sit there and watch TV and just chill and just chopped it up. And that's a great move for Rob Lanier, another black head coach that just got hired. Remember now, Rob Lanier on his resume, and he was a head coach at Georgia State. Took them to the dance this year at Georgia State. Yeah, but he was assistant at Tennessee before then. Under Rick Barnes. That wasn't his first time under Rick Barnes. When I first met Rob Lanier was back in 2000 to 2001, that season. He was assistant coach at University of Texas under Rick Barnes.
That's
And
where I remember him from. Okay.
yeah,
All right.
and so me and
Okay.
him we go way back.
Okay.
And he was over at Florida as assistant coach,
Okay.
uh, Virginia as an assistant coach.
Okay. That's why I know.
But Rob Lanier is good people, well respected, and he has good hooks in Texas. That's important to a school like LSU, to a school like SMU. And so, like I say, man, this thing is going to be the dynamic you see. And let me tell you something, Adam. You mentioned coaches, and I'm gonna tell you something. That takes me to the NCAA and the Final Four. Of course, take your pick on these four teams. The media is going to run away with the story on Coach K and Duke. You guys know that. The script was already set for this. It's going to make the movie one day, whatever, if he can pull this off. But first and foremost, the Carolina versus Duke rivalry is going to take the center stage for Saturday, leading up into Saturday. The Villanova and Kansas, that game is going to be, it's going to be good. But this North Carolina and Duke, remember, the not shaking in the handshake line after the game, they're going to relive all of this stuff going into the game. But one thing that I'm telling you that you probably won't get anywhere, as much as you're going to get on the chop shop on these next 3 days, is the fact that Hubert Davis, right, is a black head coach in his first year on the job with 0 experience as a head coach. Follow me on this. 0 experience as a head coach. He's 2 wins away from joining John Thompson, from joining Nolan Richardson, from joining Tubby Smith, and from joining Kevin Ollie. He's 2 wins away. If North Carolina wins this championship, it would be not only historic, but it opens the door so widely for a lot of black assistant coaches out there that have been looked over and has been despised. Remember now, North Carolina had Coach what's his name? Coach Richardson. What's my guy name? Man, he's at Arizona now, assistant coach.
Oh, Steve.
Had him there for years. Steve Robinson. Had Coach Steve Robinson there. Steve Robinson, they not only did not hire him, they basically beat it. Right? And of course, you're showing it right now. The second ever matchup between black head coaches in the Elite Eight. Mike Davis and Stan Heat was the first. And of course, like Mike Davis got Indiana to the Final Four. And that was his first year as a head coach. They had an interim tag on him at Indiana right after Bobby Knight had parted ways with the program, or vice versa. Back again, if this North Carolina team, people see, in order to talk about this, that means we got to wake some people up as to what this could mean. What this could mean. The doors are already opening. Guys like Talvin Talvin Hester is a head coach now. If you think about it, Adam, the numbers now, and it's overdue. This hiring season, we're getting some traction, but that's got plenty of ways to go. But the traction is there. I know, man. We probably got maybe 10 black head coaches that have been hired, probably in the college and collegiates in this offseason. Maybe 7 to 10. That's good.
And all they're doing is looking for an opportunity, man. I mean, let me have an opportunity to be the CEO of your program and give me the same respect. Give me the same respect. I mean, and they're still not getting the same respect, but go and hire them, and treat them with the same respect that you treat everybody else. That's all these guys ask for. That's all they got. And I said this, and I know people are looking at me crazy. looking at me crazy when I said this on the show. I said, we got the power. Your high school coaches and you summer coaches. I think you looked at me crazy, Jim. I said, y'all got the power to send a black coach to the Final Four every year. Whether you use the power or not, you have the power to send one. What's the use in it? They getting a job and then they're going to get fired. Quanzo Martin got fired because we weren't sending them players. If those guys from Duke go to Missouri, Coach K would have been retired by now. I'm for real. Instead of breaking John Wooden's record of 13 Final Four appearances, John Wooden had 12 appearances, but he won 10 championships. Damn, that's a lot of championships. But Coach K, see that we can change the dynamic, but we don't want to. We just no, I ain't sending it. So Missouri got nice facilities. Michigan got nice facilities. These schools, we always gonna have the reason they're hiring these guys now because they know they can win with these guys. Now we just got to make sure we sustain it so they can hire some more. Because some of y'all gonna come up. I'm gonna tell you, I got a feeling, I don't know, but Coach Woods, if he ever wanted to, if he ever move out, I think he got the temperament to run a program. I really do. Because I've been around him enough and I know the temperament, what it takes to be a CEO of a company. And that's all the high school college basketball coach. He is the chief executive officer of that program. That basketball. He's the face of that program. And some people, y'all got to realize, ain't used to that face being look like ours. I was watching a TV set the other day, and it was just Candace Parker, TNT at night. So it's normal, y'all, to see all white commentators on the set. It's normal. If we look up there, we won't even say nothing about it. I saw all white men and one black woman on there one day. Rex Chapman and all them other guys. When is going to be normal when you got Chris Walker and all of those guys sitting up there? When is that going to be normal? Because I'm ready for it. Some of us ain't even ready for it. Forget everybody else. Some of us will be like, oh, no, that's too many of us up there. And I ain't up there. So that's what we got to do, man. We got the power to send these guys, the Dennis Gates, the Rob Laniers, the who else we got? The Talvin Hesters. We got the power to get these guys to where they need to go.
Well, that's
Rex ain't black. You don't say that. I can't stand when somebody say a black person, white person, black. I know you're kidding. Don't even say that. Don't say that. Don't even play around like that. But what was you about to say, Jim?
Yeah, just continue to keep the foot down and moving the needle. And that's a great thing. And now this week, a lot of coaches will be convening in New Orleans for the Final Four. And during the Final Four, there's a lot of guys. It's kind of like a big swap meet of the minds. And a lot of your assistant coaches, they go and everybody's trying to, not everybody, but a lot of guys are trying to get, throw their line out there. Hey, man, look, man, so-and-so, you can help me get on that staff. Jerome Tang, man, let them know, man, I can recruit this area over here. I can recruit the Northeast for him. And I can, people jockey for their position on staffs at the Final Four. You see that a lot. So that's why guys like a coach, when they get the new job, a new coach, just like Talvin Hester, whatever Talvin Hester had planned for the Final Four, it just went out the window. Whatever Jerome Tang had planned a week ago for his Final Four, it went out the window. Meaning that some things he's going to keep, but for the most part, those guys try to hide out. Those guys ain't trying to walk down no street. Those guys ain't trying to be hanging in no lobbies. Because everybody in there, they become the most important person in the room. and they're not trying to be.
So why would you hide though?
Well, because you need, in that point.
Can't you just say, man, we'll set up a time to talk? We'll set up a time to talk. Man, them dudes ain't that damn important.
No, here's go. Okay, just imagine you walking from the elevator and you got to go through the lobby to go out. Right?
All I'm saying, Jimmy, I was in San Antonio when Penny got the job. And he walked around there like it wasn't nothing. And everybody was calling, messing with him. He just graciously, he wasn't going to stay in the room. Because, I mean, for what I'm going to stay in the room for? These people going to get in touch with me anyway.
No. You're not staying in no room. You taking your, I just said a lot of things you had planned, it goes out the window. Meaning that if you're going to the Pumps party, you coming to the Chris Walker and our Chop Shop party, you ain't gonna come to that now, because you know everybody's going to be asking you for favors and want to lay their favors down. You want, in other words, you come out once you got a grip of that, and you got most of your stuff, because now you got to go have meetings, Hatter. You got to go meet with assistant coaches and potential assistant coaches that you wasn't going to meet. That wasn't
even if I'm doing that is okay. I'm not going to avoid. I'm just telling you, I wouldn't avoid just because I'm in another position of power. Now, that's the time I'm going to come out. I'm not going to avoid it, because guess what? I can't have a meeting out there in the lobby. I can't. All I got to do, we're going to set up something, man. We're going to set up something. That's all you got to do. I just don't believe in that. If dudes believe in that, if that's the way they believe in it, I respect it. It's just that when you in a position of power, to whom much is given, much is required. What you gonna go hide for? You what? Them coaches? What if the coach? What if what's his name? Scott Drew had to hide from your ass. What if the other coaches had to hide from them? No, I don't believe in it.
The hiding word is the wrong damn word in this scenario. Then not hiding. Okay. They're in control of their time. They don't have
to manage their time. Okay, they don't have time to be in the lobby.
Exactly.
Okay, that's better. That's better.
They're not hiding from your damn body. They know. Know if I walk, that's like me when I go to certain damn high school events. I know that if I go and walk my ass to that way out that door, that people gonna want to talk to me about. Hey, gonna talk about stuff. I don't feel like talking about stuff that I think you might want to talk to me about every damn day that I walk in the gym. So I go out the other way. That's all. I'm in control of my time now. Okay. And that's what I know those guys are doing. It means that their whole flow has changed. And
of course, you're the CEO now. You done moved 12 inches over.
And guess what? So you know what you do? A lot of those interviews are going to take place for certain people that have the budgets, like Kansas State. Instead of setting up shop in New Orleans, you're gonna fly the guys out to Manhattan from New Orleans for these interviews. So that means Tang gonna have to probably be there. I'm just guessing, and get the hell up out of there, because you would want a person to come and see what's going, the ones you're serious about.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, whether you believe it or not, most head coaches, the vast majority, I'm gonna go on the ledge and say 99% know at least two guys that they're gonna bring on the staff with them, that they're gonna try to get. At least two of them. If before you even get the head job, you already know, and you've already talked about it with somebody that's close to you. Hey, yo, man, if I get this gig, man, what you want to rock? Shit, I'm in. Or whatever. Most coaches have lived that moment in the mirror the day that they announced head coaching gigs. Get announced as a head coach.
They should have. Even if I was assistant coach right now, I would have in mind about who I would want and be able to get, according to what job I got. That's the part of them. People hire them big guys for a reason. And them guys should be, you're going to at least have two of them. Because I know Penny Tony Matlock was hired down there when he got the job. That's his frat brother, and he played together.
They already talked about it.
Yeah.
Matlock was at Auburn, I think.
Yeah, so Matlock was helping him weed out the other guys.
Done deal. And Matlock had the boxes in his house already taping shit up.
Yeah.
When Penny got hired, Matlock had the stuff. He just had to make the call. Because let me tell you something. Them fans, they could tell. How they could tell when you get ready to move, put your house up for sale or house up for rent. You got to be careful on that stuff. Them fanatics, they know. Yeah. They could tell if you go buy a bunch of boxes for all of a sudden from the store. And the people that sell the boxes at the work there, they're gonna tell somebody, hey man, you saw Coach just came in and bought and got a whole bunch of boxes. Man, think he might be moving. Trust me. And guess what? It's society we live in right now. But that's the thing, and the good point on that part. I mean,
that's gonna be exciting for them guys. But I'm just telling them, embrace the moment. Embrace the moment. Dude, it ain't gonna happen. The Final Four is just one time a year. All right, I got to go deal with this. You remember, I always remember when I wasn't in that place. So when I deal with people who not in my place, I always deal with them from a standpoint that, man, I wasn't always in this position of power. Now I can't wield that power. It's how I wield that power. But the most important thing you did say is time management. Listen, I'm the CEO now. CEOs got stuff to do. They gonna go to certain, because you got to go. There's meetings go on down there, Jimmy. That coaches got to be at certain meetings.
And some of them might have been an assistant coach meeting.
Yeah.
That meeting don't apply to you. That meeting don't apply to you no more.
I'm going to, yes. I mean, you
gotta go to the head coach's meeting.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But I'm just proud to have guys who've been around us and in this circle. Imagine being a friend of Shaheem Holloway. Imagine being this guy. Everybody I talk to that I know that know this guy. You got to realize, Jimmy, he cool with Serge Clemente. He cool with Serge at hospital. All of them guys on that part of the country, they got this kindred spirit, especially if you're from New York. And it's unique, man, that we watching these guys just going for these runs and the Sweet 16s and hey, Hubert Davis ain't never been a head coach. This stuff. So now, guess what? We'll take a chance. Cause Jimmy, somebody was telling me the other day, man, I got to look at his resume. Sometimes sometimes you got to take a shot. Jimmy, Hubert didn't have the best resume. If you had looked at his resume and said no head coaching, most people don't think outside of the box. Shout out to North Carolina and Roy Williams. They said, forget all of that resume. Somebody gonna call me the other day because I was asking them about a hire. Well, the resume, they came to me with this old resume talk, Jimmy. Well, the resume, I said, that's why, hey, keep on with that old resume shit. Y'all, sometimes the key thing in being a leader, sometimes leaders just got to take chances. Quit putting everybody in the box. Think outside the box sometimes. Shout out to North Carolina, because I know a lot of people say, because I ain't like Hubert, because he made a little comment that the press conference, at the press conference, he lost me at the press conference, but he got me back when he cried for his kids. He said, this ain't about me, it's about them. Ain't about me, it's about them. But y'all keep on getting, now let's see who the next Coach K y'all gonna make. And have him in the, they done had Coach K. Now let's get us a Coach K. Let's get us a guy we can send there 13 years to the Final Four. Well, what else you got, Jimmy?
We got it in the making, and of course, hopefully everything goes grooving for this basketball program. Also, give a shout out. I see earlier somebody put on the website. Wow. Shout out to Darryl Colbert. He went to TSU with me. He played football when I was on the baseball team.
Yeah,
back
good dude.
In the mid '80s. He's from out of Beaumont. He was assistant football coach at Texas Southern University a few years ago, and then he went and coached at the school at the high school ranks, and that is at Westbury High School. So he's been named the head football coach at Beaumont United High School, which is gigantic because he gets to go home. He gets to go home, and with his parents and everything, you get to see them every day now. That's big. You get to move back home. And that's like, guys, when you put stuff in perspective, that's almost like a dream come true for a young man to be able to go, and after you've been away from your family for most of your adult life, you get to come back and you can possibly retire, where you grew up at. That's
Jimmy,
remarkable.
I want to tackle this. Mr. Sullivan said something. Do the kids give the black coaches the same respect? it seems as if they would run through a brick wall for others. I watch how hard kids play. Am I wrong, Mr. Sullivan? Let me tell you something. Maybe it's some truth to that. It's the way you was raised. Because I've seen some kids run through a brick wall for Penny this year. I've seen some kids run through a brick wall for
Kevin Sampson.
For Kevin Sampson. I've seen some kids run through for DeJuan Howard.
For Johnny Jones.
Yeah, I've seen some kids. I mean, they so I don't know. That's a good one. That's something that you would have to ask the kids and their mentality. But I'm watching them, and I'm watching guys. I'm watching a guy like Remy Martin, who was a cast-off, was averaging, all the minutes and shooting all the balls at Arizona State. Left Arizona State and come off the bench at Kansas and be one of their most valuable players in this run, Jimmy. So, I mean, it's just, man, college basketball, when you're dealing with these 18 to 20-year-old kids, Jimmy, and your livelihood depends on it, Mr. Sullivan, I don't know, man. I mean, that's Doug, ask some of these players sometime. That's better ask for the players. From my point of view, I hope they're playing just as hard for all the coaches. I hope they just say, man, I ain't gonna play. Yeah, you got to realize some of these kids don't like some of these coaches now. But Jimmy, some of these kids don't like them coaches.
Well, I mean, I think it comes down to, if in many situations, if a kid, a young man, a person believe that you believe in them, then they're going to open up more into trusting you. And a lot of these kids, they speak and they talk amongst each other. And if you are the coach and you have the reputation that let's say you've deceived some of your players, then guess what? They're gonna talk and they're not gonna take you serious. They're not gonna have your back because they know you full of it. They know you FOS. And some kids, they really talk amongst each other. Man, coach full of shit. And you don't know it, but that's how they talk amongst each other.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so why would you even expect them to run through the brick wall for you?
That's a good point.
Knowing that you have set the table and you that resulted in y'all getting to this situation that you're in. And that's just how it goes. You got to, a lot of kids, they're gonna buy in or they not. And your job is to assemble a staff that could help you achieve the goal of making those young men want to buy in, making them want to have to be where they're supposed to be at the certain time without being herded to tutorials, without being funneled to wake up and go to class on time, without being reminded that practice they 5 minutes late and here and there. That's what they call, and U of H personified it with their marketing campaign, which I told everybody 3 years ago, home run. And sure enough, the winning got to happen, but their marketing started a little bit before they started winning at University of Houston. They changed their slogan every year. They change it on up, or every 2 years since Coach Sampson has been there. And they've been maximizing the exposure of those different for the city. You know what I'm saying? Then the culture. You know what I'm saying? They change it up. And what they have is coach. And you see it happening. And guess what? Certain high school we can simplify the fraction. Did you see Duncanville High School? You see those guys?
Different.
You see you could go and practice 100 weeks in a row and not get the same type of output you saw in the second half, in that second quarter, when they start to defend Atascocita, that state tournament, and how they were switching and defending, and I got your man covered if you cheat up on that. And I mean, it was like, wow. If you saw St. Peter's, not this last game, But the game before that,
Oh,
how those guys were
I like
switching,
that
how they were
classic game with
switching.
Jimmy. I don't learn nothing from when you win. They still had class when they were losing.
No, I'm
I
talking
was
about on the
watching them.
defense, how they were switching, how they was
Yeah,
try to go into that 2-3 and switching to them, how
yeah,
they were going
but
and
they got
forward.
hit in the mouth real fast. They usually hit somebody in the mouth fast. They hit Kentucky in the mouth fast. Man, Hubert Davis said in that huddle, y'all better go out and hit these dudes in the mouth or they gonna bust you in yours. So somebody gonna win. Somebody gonna get busted in the mouth. Is it you or us? And that's what them dudes said. Oh my goodness. And I ain't never seen no Carolina team play like that. Ever seen a Carolina. Now think about it, this team was an 8 seed. This team wasn't expected to do this. went and beat Coach K in his own building on senior night. Had Coach K mad at the boys. Somebody do me a favor and go back. I didn't like. He was condescending that day. I know y'all hold him on a pedestal, but man, I watch people. Y'all got to realize I had a kid that played in my program. Is the only kid that he ever put out of Duke, and that's Rasheed Suleiman. Put him out. Only player he ever put out. I know Rasheed wasn't one of the ones that came back the other night, Jim, that night. But y'all watch Coach K.
Out through the front door. He pushed a few of them out through the back door. I mean,
okay, yeah. Not many. Not too many people leave Duke. I know Daniel Ewing didn't like Duke.
Yeah, because back then that was like taboo. You was like, you don't leave them. But they've had a couple in the past. They've had a couple in the past couple of years that done left. You had the big fella from California. I can't think of it. That was built like Jeremy Barr. He left. You had Big Simi, who's in the NBA now. He left Duke, went to SMU, and he left. Just off the top of my head, I remember we had on the chop shop about 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago. We were wondering and questioning why didn't Marquise Bolden leave, because the opportunity just wasn't there for him.
Please don't bring that up, man. Don't bring that up. Paul Miranda start crying. Y'all don't bring that. Don't nobody bring that up. Don't nobody call Paul. You know we got somebody gonna call Paul talking about, because I try not to talk about that kid. I call him the 6'11" Dennis.
That was a crazy joke.
Yeah, but let's get out of here, man. I'm good. But
yeah,
unless you had something else you want to cover.
Taylor Gamble says it's all about fit. Coaches have to know the type of family and the kid they can coach. Every kid can't play for any coach. Well,
but sometimes you don't find that out till later, Jimmy.
Yeah, and that's exactly true. And every coach doesn't have the time, the same degree of a time clock to invest into learning that kid and his family. Remember now, you think you know this kid, you saw him play, you like what he could do, and you're thinking that the talent would be greater than the problem or his flaws. And you're thinking just like when some of you guys bought your first used car. If you ever bought a used car in your life or pre-owned back in the old days, we ain't talking about the pre-owns now. You can go online and you can tell you everything about the car. Back in the old days, you had to go take your mechanic with you to go and get that used car. And get what you say, man, all I got to do is get some, all I need a little touch up on the paint. That little noise you hear when I crank it, that ain't nothing, man. I get my guy to get the mufflers fixed. It run a little hot. I got some antifreeze. I just keep putting water in every day. I mean, you start thinking about all the little bitty things you could do because you love that, you want that car so bad that you'll disregard the problems. Now, once you get that car and you get to driving it and you still hearing that noise again, that's the mufflers you ain't never got fixed. And the car's still running hot. You got to get up on a hot ass day to put some water hose and find a water hose to put in your car. You know what happens? You start realizing that whole perception change. You like, man, this is a damn hoopty. Regular ass car. Look, I got to do this. And that's what happens.
I just got a unique text, Jimmy. Just a unique text. And the person said they was working, they couldn't talk. They said, I know y'all talked about the Will Smith and Chris Rock situation. He said, because ain't nobody gonna talk about it like the boom boom room gonna talk about it. There's a person that lives in Atlanta, and they sitting up there just can't wait till we get off the show so they can go back. That's the impact that y'all we have. This platform, that you can have a platform that you can come on here and be you part of it. You part of it. Them other people ain't finna let you be part of the View and all of them. But you got a situation right here that, and I know we take it for granted. Oh, that's just Robert and Jimmy. But it's the platform that you can come on and talk and say, Jimmy, you got to go back and see some of that crazy stuff these folks were saying. But guess what? It's people out in other parts of the country saying, hey, man, I wanted to hear y'all's point of view. I done heard this mess on TV. I want to hear y'all's point of view. That's how powerful this platform is. And shout out to y'all, all of y'all, Dr. Newsom and Kevin Freedman, and all of y'all for your contributions to the show. But Jim, if you got anything else, man,
guys, we appreciate it. Thanks everybody for tuning into the Chop Shop. Make sure you share the show on your way out the door. Be right back at you in 22 hours. And it was a good day. Make sure, once again, share the show.
Yes, sir.
And if you're your first time on, appreciate you coming. Go over to the YouTube page and subscribe to our YouTube page.
And like it too.
Like it. Mm-hmm. And once again, share the show on your way out the door. We'll be right back at you on tomorrow, but we got to get up out of here now. Peace, guys. Chop.